Representative Westerman begins by highlighting the importance of new technologies in assessing and understanding the nation's natural resources. He asks Dr. Dat to explain how the Earth MRI program's cooperative model, bringing together the U.S. Geological Survey, state geological surveys, and private contractors, has contributed to its success, and how that collaboration could be strengthened in the future.
The cooperative agreement model, I think you've worked on, or the state of Arkansas has worked with USGS on this. But how's the collaboration between USGS and state geological surveys and private contractors contributed to the success of Earth MRI, and how can we enhance that going forward?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So USGS is providing the framework, and the airborne geophysics is flown under contract, and the state geological surveys are the ones on the ground picking up the rocks and performing the on-the-ground activity. I would say it is an extremely effective model. The program is, 6 years old. 46 states have participated, and Puerto Rico. Each state is providing access or work in the program at the levels that they're available to. My state, the state of Oregon, we are significantly involved in Earth MRI. We have a significant mineral endowment, which we haven't fully investigated, and that's true across most states. So it's a very effective model where the USGS provides the framework and the states enact on that framework.
Thank you. And speaking of new technology, Mr. Kinsella, in layman's terms, can you explain what quantum gravity gradiometry is?
Yes, sir. Great question. What we do is we trap atoms inside of these quantum cells, and we use lasers to cool these atoms to temperatures that are colder than the temperatures found in outer space. And the question is, how do you do that at room temperature? And it's all about what is the definition of cold. Cold is the lack of motion of atoms. And so we use lasers to hold these atoms in place so that they're moving so little, they become colder than outer space. They then start to form together in something called a Bose-Einstein condensate, which is a fifth form of matter. And when they are in that form of matter, they become very sensitive to the forces in the world around them, including gravity. And so if we can take 2 measurements of gravity, we can sense the change in those measurements, or the gradient. And you can then use that change in gravity to identify mass and things like uranium that have a lot of mass, and start to explore under the Earth's surface with significantly more precision than we've been able to do with classical technologies.
So if that was the layman's version, I can't imagine what the technical version would be like. So how does that work with Earth MRI?
It would effectively take the technologies we're using currently with Earth MRI, and we will compare the quantum versions of those technologies to see that quantum outperforms, and then start to deploy the quantum versions of those technologies to sense things underneath the Earth's surface with more gravity. And maybe to put it in really layman's terms, historically, it's been like throwing darts at a dartboard, and now we can make bullseyes more consistently.
So it's not new sensing technology, it's just analyzing the data that's coming from the existing technology?
It would be taking the existing gravimetry technology that we have and making it quantum capable. So introducing capabilities that are at the quantum level of precision. So taking the existing technologies and making them significantly more sensitive is what quantum would be doing.
Thank you. Mr. Hiller and Dr. Daster, again, as we consider the authorization of this legislation, what characteristics of Earth MRI do you like the most, and what suggestions do you have for us as far as changes to the program?
Thank you for the question. I think the model is working, to my prior comment. I think it is incredibly important that the on-ground elements remain, that we need to go and ground truth what we are sensing with airborne geophysics and other methods. And so it's that holistic approach to understanding what the nation's mineral endowment is. And so it's a total government approach to understanding what we have.
Yes, I really like the cooperative aspect of it, working closely with USGS, but also leveraging the local expertise of the state surveys. That's been a great model. And we're also, as I think I mentioned earlier, the consistent approach to how we're characterizing deposits and how we're even creating our maps so that somebody can pick up a map from anywhere in the country if they're used to working with those, and they don't have to learn a whole new method of reading the geologic information.
Thank you very much. I'm out of time, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, since you asked a question, would you make sure that Mr. Kinsella gives us a half a credit continuing education for that grant?
Dr. Datt explains that the U.S. Geological Survey provides the overall framework for Earth MRI, while private contractors conduct airborne geophysical surveys and state geological surveys carry out field work, including collecting rocks and conducting geological investigations. He describes the model as highly effective, noting that the program has been operating for about 6 years and has involved 46 states and Puerto Rico. He emphasizes that states participate at different levels, depending on their available resources and geological opportunities. Westerman then turns to another emerging technology, asking Mr. Cannell to explain quantum gravity gradiometry in simple terms. Cannell explains that the technology uses lasers to cool atoms to extraordinarily low temperatures, allowing them to form a Bose-Einstein condensate. In this state, the atoms become extremely sensitive to forces such as gravity. By taking highly precise measurements of gravity and detecting changes in the gravitational field, scientists can identify differences in underground mass. This could help locate resources such as uranium and allow researchers to explore beneath the Earth's surface with much greater precision than traditional technologies. The exchange highlights how cooperation between federal agencies, state geological surveys, and private contractors is expanding the nation's ability to understand its natural resources. At the same time, emerging technologies such as quantum gravity gradiometry could significantly improve underground exploration by providing more precise measurements of geological structures and valuable mineral deposits.